Hi everyone, so I'm going to go through the answers to task 4 of the foundation homework booklet. So this is it's basically a recap of the last 3 tasks. So the first question is we're going to use Napier's bones to find 62 times 35. So we draw our Napier's bones, make sure we use a ruler, and because it's 62, I don't know what happened then. Because it's 62, we're going to need to split that into 2 columns. One first column is for our 6 and the second one is for our 2, and the other one is 35. Don't forget we write it on the right hand side, and we're also going to need that to split into 2 as well. So once you've drawn it, you can then split it with your diagonals. This is going to separate your units and your tens basically for adding up later on. So to do the top, we'll start with the top right. So we're going to do 2 times 3 first to get 6, and don't forget we put 0, 6. Then we're going to do the one next to that, so we're going to do 6 times 3, and that's 18, so we do 1 and 18. To get our bottom right one, we're going to do 2 times 5 to get 10, and for our bottom left one, we're going to do 6 times 5, which is 30. We now add up going diagonal, so I've got 0 on its own by there, so it's just 0. Then I've got 6, 1 and 0, that's just 7. Then I've got 0, 8 and 3, that's 11. So remember we put our 1 and we carry our 1 into our top box. So we add that on to now to 1 and 1 to make 2. So don't forget our answer therefore is going to be 2170. So our answer 2170 for 62 times 35. So using the exact same rule for the one next to it now. So because we've got 442, I'm going to make it a little bit longer because I'm going to need 3 columns now. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be for 442. And 26, don't forget, comes on the right hand side, and I need then 4 to split that into 2. So once we've drawn our boxes, I can now do my diagonals that go across. I like to carry on my diagonals a little bit so I can separate my numbers later on, and I don't forget to carry later on then. So I'm going to start on the top right. So 2 times 2 is 4. Don't forget we put 0, 4 because there's no tens. One next to it, I'm going to do 4 times 2, which is 8 again, 0, 8. Otherwise you'd put 80. And then last one, 4 times 2 is 8 as well, so 0, 8. Bottom right, so I'm going to do 2 times 6 for this one, which is 12. Next to that one, I'm doing 4 times 6, which is 24. And again, 4 times 6, which is 24. So now that I have filled in my boxes, I can add up the diagonals. So I've just got 2 on its own by there. Then I've got 4, 4 and 1, which is 9. Next one, I've got 0, 8, 2 and 4. So you add in these, don't forget, no times in, so that's going to be 14. So I put my 4 and I'm carrying my 1 onto the next column to add it onto these numbers. So I've got 0, 8, 2 and 1. That makes 11. So I put my 1, carry my 1. And in the top box is just 0 and 1, which is 1. So then we can go across now. So our answer is 11492. So 442 times 26 is 11492. Next one again is using Napier's bones. So it asks you to use Napier's bones. So this is a decimal. So I'm going to do my numbers first and I'll show you where our decimal goes at the end. So because it's 33.2, we're going to need to split that into 3 columns again, just like my last one. So this is going to be 33 and then 0.2. And 6.4 comes on the side. So again, because it's 2 digits, we're splitting that into 2. I'm going to draw my diagonals. And we can start in our top right. You can start anywhere you want, but I just like to start in my top right. So 2 times 6 first is 12. Next one across then, 3 times 6 is 18. And the next one across then, 3 times 6, again, 18. Bottom right now, we've got 2 times 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. And we put 0, 8. Don't forget, not 8, 0, because that would be 80. Next one across, we would do 3 times 4. So 3 times 4 is 12. So put 1, 2 for 12. And last one, 3 times 4 is also 12. So now we've got our diagonals. We can add up the cross. So our 8 just comes straight down. Our 2, 0 and 2, that makes 4. Then we add our 1, 8, 1 and 2, that's 12. So I put my 2, carry my 1 into the next column. Then I've got 1, 8, 1 and that extra 1 as well. So that's 11. So I put my 1, carry my 1. And then I've got 1 and 1 that makes 2. You can now choose where, well, we can put in our decimals. So you don't choose, the decimal goes in. So we notice how our decimals are here and here. If we join them up to match, so they stop there, they match there, and if you come down the diagonal, this is where our decimal will end up, okay? So it's going to be 212.48. Another way to remember it is that there's 2 numbers after the decimal in my question, so my answer, I need 2 numbers after the decimal. Next one, it says find the sum of 395 and 296. So sum means we've got to add these. So we write them on top of each other. Always go into the habit of writing the bigger number first, and we are adding because it's the sum. So I start on my right hand side, 5 add 6 is 11, so I carry my 1 and put my 1 from the units. Then we go 9 add 9, that's 18, add my 1, that's 19, and carry my 1. And then 3 add 2, that's 5, add my 1 is 6, so it's 691. Next one is find the total of 86.9 and 18.5. So again, I don't know why I just did that. So again, we write them underneath each other, but this time you want to line up your decimals. So we go 86.9 and 18.5. So it's important with this that you do line up those decimals. So we're going to find the total, means we've got to add them. So we start on the right hand side, 9 add 5, that's 14. So I go 4, carry my 1, and our decimal can just move straight down. We go 6 add 8, that's 14, add my 1, that's 15. 8 add 1, that's 9, add my 1 is 10. So our answer is 105.4. Next one, we got subtract 476 from 935. So we put our 935 up top because we want our bigger number up top for subtracting. And we're subtracting 476. So don't forget, if it's bigger on the bottom, you need to borrow. So we start on the right hand side, 5 take away 6 we can't do. So we've got to borrow from the 3. So our 3 becomes a 2. And we can add the 1 to the 5 to make 15. So we've got 15 take away 6, that's 9. Then we do 2 take away 7, which again we can't do, 7 is too big, so we borrow 1 from the 9 to make 8, and the 2 now is 12. So we've got 12 take away 7, that's 5, and then 8 take away 4, that's 4, so it's 459. Next one, we're going to use the bus stop method to find 1,536 divided by 6. So our 6 comes on the outside of our bus, and 1,536 goes on the inside. Notice how I'm writing it quite big, is so I got room to carry my remainders. So our first one, how many 6s go into 1? It doesn't. So 6 is too big, so we have to carry all of that 1 to make 15. How many 6s go into 15? It would be 2, because 2 6s are 12. Now we needed 15, so that's 3 left over. Then we go, how many 6s go into 33? It would be 5, because 5 times 6 is 30. We got 33, so that's 3 left over. And how many 6s go into 36? It would be 6. So our answer is 256. Next one is how many 4s go into 144. So first of all, how many 4s go into 1? 0 doesn't go, so we carry all that 1. How many 4s go into 14? It would be 3, because 4 times 3 is 12. And we've got 14, so that's 2 remainder. And then how many 4s go into 24? It would be 6. Okay, so next one is a boat carries 119 passengers. How many boats are needed to transport 250 people across the river? So we can see we need to see how many 19s go into 250, basically. So if we were to round that up to 20, you could divide it by 2.